The following video you are about to watch is for your entertainment purposes only. I do not recommend investing in anything you see in this video. The following video contains my opinions, my deposits, my profits, my losses, and my results only. If you are looking for financial advice, please consult a licensed financial advisor. Thank you. Okay, so the next couple ICOs that we're going to talk about, right, is Kick ICO, right? Kick ICO is a ICO, a token or a company or a website or a brand, whatever you want to call it. This ICO allows you to what they do is, I don't know if you ever heard of Kickstarter or some type of crowdfunding website. So this is like the crowdfunding website of all crowdfunding websites. Basically what they want is, if you're going to release your coin, there's other ones out there. This is not the only crowdfunding site out there. But if you're looking to release your coin or your project, anything surrounded around Bitcoins, you have the ability to crowdfund right here on their website using Bitcoins. Now, the difference between them and the other current crowdfunding sites is that instead of just being an ICO, they allow you to do crowdfunding for any project. And their prototype, which is what you see here on the website, is actually live, as you can see, live. It's a live ICO, live prototype. All of this right here shows you the information about this company, shows you more and more and more. You can read through it if you want. I'm not going to read through it for you. I'm just bringing up the information that this is one that I am going to invest in the future. Maybe not in the next 8 days. I don't know. Maybe on the last day. We'll see. But most likely, I will definitely be in on this. Okay? They got fully funded, which is 100% for their soft cap. Their hard cap means that this is all that's left for us to buy. The second that hard cap hits, this price is going to jump. Okay? So I want to give you an idea of how a hard cap and a soft cap work. Let's say you were a car collector. You like to buy cars, you like to buy and sell cars. What you do is you buy and sell cars, maybe vintage ones, brand new ones, any of those type of cars, right? What you'll run into is other people that do the same thing. But then one day you get lucky and you end up with a car that, sorry, I was doing two things at once, so my thought process kind of got screwed up. But you got lucky. You ended up with a car that was only in production for 2,000 cars for 1 year. 1 year, they made these 2,000. That car was never made ever again. That doesn't mean that the car had a problem. It just means that it's a limited edition and it will never be reproduced. That's what a hard cap is. This is where it stops. There are no more past that point. Okay. If they do like a split, then they do a split, or if they do anything like that, that's something different. But as of right now, this is where it ends. Okay. Once that hard cap ends, everyone that owns the coin decides the price. So if right now, I don't know where it's at right now, but if right now it's at 10 cents or if it's at 20 cents and you're looking to get in after the hard cap is over and they go live, you're expected to pay over 20 cents. There's not a single person that owns a coin and says to themselves, you know what? I'm looking to lose some money on this coin. I'm going to sell for 80% of what I paid. That's not going to happen. So I don't see it happening. So that's why I put in, that's my thought process. That's what I'm trying to figure out is what's going to make it go up. So I start with that one, right? I'm just starting with that one because I like that one. The rest of them we're going to explain in a little bit, right? So anyway, let's see if we can maybe, I don't know. I'm just looking for something that just doesn't have personal information and that thing doesn't really matter. But we'll just leave it like this, right? So this is the ICO checklist that I created for myself and myself only. I'm sharing this information because I like to what do they call it? I like to document everything. Okay, so if let's say 10 years from now, I want to see what my mindset was back when I decided to invest. That's what I'm doing. Okay, if you hear me say you, if you hear me say them, any of that stuff, usually it's because I'm talking about myself. So like right now, I'm having this conversation with my 5 year, 10 year from now self. So if you're listening to this and you think I'm talking to you directly, most likely not. But I am talking to myself 5 years from now so that me and that person can have an understanding of what my thought process was when investing. So if you saw part one, you noticed that not one ICO that I picked is making me lose money. Now there are going to be times where I'm going to lose money, but right now I'm on a good streak. So if I'm 5 for 5, okay? And I bought 9, so we're waiting for the other 4 to let me know if I hit or if I'm a loser. So the things that I noticed that are obvious that every single one must have. I'll take away the word percentage because I actually try to do 100%, but I can't. I can't figure out the numbers to make sense in my head for the percentages to work, because if I do this, then it's going to be 135% or something like that, and it's not actually going to be 100%. Okay, so this isn't going to make sense for a second, so just ignore what I'm doing. But these are points, okay? So this is out of all the points possible. So 24, 40, and 48. Because I don't feel like doing it, 24 plus 40 plus 48. Out of a possible 112 points, a company can make, to me, 112 points. Okay? So we're going to add up a total on one of them just so you guys can see how it works and, show you like what my thought process is before I'm actually investing. So one thing I noticed, there are other people on the internet that do this. So what I'm going to show you is not brand new to the world, but I'm the only one that's transparent with what I'm doing. Okay, there are other checklists out there. There are other lists out there. There are other review sites. There are other review YouTubers. There are other investors. There are always going to be others. I'm not the only one. So please don't look at it as me giving you financial advice. Look at it as me telling you this is what I've done with my money. Okay. Here's the obvious stuff that they must have. So if you don't see this, then there's a problem. Okay. First thing, they must have white paper. So we're going to go back to that kick one. White paper. People want to know what white paper is. So if you don't invest in ICO, then you don't know what white paper is. White paper describes the company. This is white paper. This tells you everything from the vision to the technology, to the market, to the ICO itself, and some are going to show you problems. So here's another one, Power Ledger. I'm not going to go too much into Power Ledger, but I like Power Ledger. I got it from a different person that was actually talking about it, but they're talking about doing energy, and this person does pump ICOs very heavily. So it's a possibility that I might get into this. This is on the bottom of my list because I don't really understand it, but it's also a ledger, and most ledgers and most wallets and most exchanges, ICOs tend to go through the roof. So I might put into this one just so that I can see my money grow. Centra is just like Plex. The only difference is they have a working prototype today. I mean, literally, this is the site that I'm going to actually do my review on. So we're going to stop it here. Atlant and Real, those two are if you want to buy real estate in different countries, but you only want to own a percentage of it. So you and 1,000 other people are going to buy a piece of real estate right now. I think Atlant has a working prototype, but Real does not. So Atlant somewhere through the website, if you just click on it all over the place, they actually have a working prototype. Okay, here's a demo. They have a working prototype. It shows you what it looks like, how it acts. This is their actual exchange, I think, to trade Atlant when it goes live. So this is how you can trade Atlant. But yeah, they'll have apps that have they have a working prototype. I kind of like that. As far as Real, I don't remember seeing a working prototype, but I do remember seeing pictures like this. Real has also a working prototype, but you just can't do anything. You can't click on it. So, and then this is the guy that I was telling you about that was investing. So if you want to follow him, you can, but he's not as transparent as I'm going to be for the next 15 minutes. In the next 15 minutes, you're going to see 100% transparency. There's one last one. No, it's two. There's two. So Waves is just like Ledger, Power Ledger. It's their own wallet, their own exchange. They also have other coins on there. Right now they're $5. So if I could invest in blockchain, or if I can invest in Jax, or if I could have invested in Coinbase or any of those other ones, I would. Wave is that opportunity for me to invest. It's about $4 some change right now. I want to invest at about 5, but currently right now I just don't have it to invest because I've been going crazy with all the other ones, and I just don't see Wave moving for the next 3 months because they're not actually doing anything crazy with their platform. But if something happens, oh, Wave as well also has an Ethereum type of like back end system. Again, I'm not like technology sound. I'm just an investor. So they have a system where if you decided you want to come out with your own coin, you can use Wave. I love that. And last but not least, transmission. Transmission is like Jax on crack, right? So the fees are super cheap. If you want to buy it, the coin right now is super cheap. You'll be able to send money, trade it, turn it into different currencies super cheap. They have a video, watch it. They also have the apps coming soon. I'm very, very, very interested in this. If you notice something here, you see that where it says the Visa, Bitcoin, all that. There's this. It's just so much that you can do with this thing, man. It's like as if Jax and Coinbase had a baby, and blockchain was, I guess, like the was overseeing everything. It's just there's nothing about what they're doing I can see that just scares me. Everything about it is like if I don't put my money into this next, I'm personally just an idiot. Like that's how I'm looking at transmission. I just can't wait. This is the one that I'm actually going to invest in next, and then after this one will probably be another one, whatever. But the Centra, and this one are like my next. Like I gotta get in right now. So Centra, I'm probably gonna get in because it's like 90 cents. But we're gonna do that as well. So that's what this is. So we're gonna go to Centra and let's just kind of do the breakdown of the list, right? So first thing, like I mentioned before, is white paper. So on each one of them, you probably noticed the word white paper. If you don't already invest, you'll probably have to find it. So read the white paper. You click on it. This is going to show me the white paper. White paper will break down everything I need to know about the company. Okay. If it doesn't break it down for me well enough, then I usually don't invest. Personally, that's just how my thought process works. I need to be able to tell you everything about this when I read this. And on top of that, I need to have so much information that I don't want to read it. That's another one thing. So with Centra, I need to know too much information. That's kind of how I look at it. If I invest, I need to know so much information. So then, so we check that off. Then it needs to also have a token, right? So the token is like to me it's the ICO name. So for it to be real, it needs to tell you, oh, we're gonna be CTR, which is Centra. So Centra is gonna be CTR. I'll take that CTR if it's an ICO. I'll take that CTR and I'll put it into another website, and I'll see, okay, what I'll type it in and I'll see, hey, is Centra is CTR Centra, or is it something else? So that's kind of how I look at that. So I've seen one ICO that said that they were coming out. It wasn't an ICO, but it said it was coming out, and like this is our ICO name and our token name and our white paper and all that stuff. And then if you type it in, you type it in, you type it in the ICO, the token. What happens is the ICO would pop up a different name, and that different name let me know that clear as day, this is not an ICO. This is just a way for people to steal your money. So right now, Centra has that. Okay, it's also on the market already, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's already on the market. A smart team. So the way I look at a smart team, right, and this is something that I got from the other guy, Ian. So I looked at the smart team was this. So when you go to, and I don't need the white paper anymore. When you go down to the team, every single one of them must show you the team, and I must be able to go into like a LinkedIn or Facebook or something regarding that person, right? So I scroll down and I want to see the team. We scroll down and here's the team. So we got this guy as the co-founder. Let's just click on his link, his Twitter. That's what popped up. Actually, I meant to click on LinkedIn, and let's just see if it has like a title or anything like that. This is him. He has 1,400 followers. Who knows if they're real or not? The first world's blockchain. No, it's not. But we'll click on LinkedIn. We'll see what the LinkedIn says. So his LinkedIn says that he is he just works here. His history is just being the president of that, being the president of this. They did over 40 web. Okay, so he's like a developer. Final checkpoint of all finances. So he's like mainly in the finance sector, right? So that's our finance guy. So obviously it's a finance ICO, so we want to make sure there's a finance guy at the top. Here's the VP and co-founder. He might be in the finance sector as well. He looks like he is. We scroll down. He worked at Wells Fargo. He's a vice president of banking at that company, which is Chase. And then this one. So this could all be real, and he's a Harvard graduate. But I want to just say one thing, right? So to invest your money, you have to feel comfortable with what you see, okay? You can't go there. I can't go there and say to them, you know what, are you real? Because if someone was to go anywhere, they're going to just say, yeah, I'm real. You know, it doesn't matter where you go. This guy, this girl, this guy, all these people, they could be real. They could be fake. Some of them are advisors, like this guy right here, the Korean advisor. You know, we don't know what that means. Blockchain director, marketing director, CMO, CFO, COO, CTO. So all these people, they could be real, they could be fake. I like their credentials, and I like what they're doing, and I like the fact there's a working prototype. See, if there wasn't a working prototype, I would totally jump, because I couldn't believe it. But here, smart team, they have a website. We were just there. Another thing, there needs to be some sort of breakdown of what the ICO will cost me. Now on this website, there's not going to show you, but what we'll do is we'll click on Flick. Flick broke down exactly what the ICO. The reason why it's not going to break it down for you is because the white paper, it already sold. You know what I mean? I can look at the white paper and I can show you really quick. White paper. It said it in the white paper, I think on the last page. Second to last page. It shows it on one of these pages what the breakdown is every single month. I'm sorry. ETH versus, what is that? Where is it at? It broke it down, I think, here. Token sell. So CCR will be available at the beginning, blah blah blah. Live, and here 0.1 will get you access to a code of our system and a max cap of 3,000. So 3,000 ether. So here we go. The token will be sold at 200 CTR at 1 ether. So it broke down what it would cost. There are some out there that don't really break that down for you. What they do is they pretty much are asking for your money and like kind of like your trust. And you know, I don't know if I really kind of want to give you my money until I know how much it's going to cost me. So there are some out there that I'm not going to pay, and because of that, there's no price. That's just this. These are just the obvious things that I should be able to find within my first 10 minutes of looking. I should be able to find all 6 of these things without really searching. I should just be able to find that. And social networking, we saw LinkedIn, Twitters, we saw the website and all that stuff. So here's some secondary information, right? So secondary information is going to be something that I feel like isn't as obvious, but at the same time makes me feel just that much more comfortable. Okay, so the YouTube video description, there is one, and there's also a video of them using the prototype. But what we'll do is I'll just show you really quick. The description and the prototype, I believe, are the same video. Sorry, it's just annoying. Here it is, play video, so you guys can see they do have a video here. You can click on it, it will play. It will stop my recording, so I will not play it. Okay, so industry and new type of thinking, as well as life-changing. Okay, so these are the ones that I kind of feel like maybe hard to explain because these are just how I think of them. But if they make sense to you, you can let me know. If it doesn't make sense to you, let me know. I'll try to explain it again. Okay, so industry, what that means is it part of something? Okay, the industry that they're part of, does it make sense to have an ICO part of that industry? Okay. When I think of that, I think of it like this, as well as saturated and underdeveloped. Okay, so the casino one, to have an ICO or a token or a coin for a casino makes total sense. Why wouldn't you have one? You can have one for the company and you can have one for the users. They could be two separate coins if you wanted to, or you can have them together. The thing I like about the one I'm buying, the poker one, is that I feel like at some point they're gonna split. That's something that I spoke to the CEO about. That I feel like if they get very popular, which most poker sites do, they get to 1 million users within the first 90 days. If this site gets to 1 million users and they only have 100 million tokens out there, some are gonna have 1,000, some are gonna have 10, but on average, everyone's gonna have about 100. Once you get to that point, no one's gonna be able to buy, and no one's gonna want to sell, and it's gonna be worth like $20 to $50 a coin. At that point, why would I sell? Because I can wait for it to hit 100. Why would I sell? Because I wait for it to hit 500. It's going to be that to that point, and what will be the point of even owning any if the price is going to fluctuate and expand that much? Because to be honest with you, I want 10,000 of them, and I don't want to sell any of them until it hits over 20. You know what I mean? And it could easily do that in a year. So the split is probably going to end up happening. So that's how I kind of look at that. Is the market saturated? There are so many out there that are saying that they're going to be a new coin for X, Y, and Z. I don't need another coin. I have Bitcoin, I have Ether, I have Litecoin, I have Ripple, I have Zcoin, I have Zcash, I have all these other ones. I have all these different ones. I don't just need another one just to be another one. That's the saturation of it. The underdeveloped are like this one in particular. I kind of feel like is not necessary, but it's possible. You know what I mean? To have a coin that is part of a company, I guess, if you want to look at it in those terms, and is a credit card company. So yeah, I want to hold their coins. They have two ways of me thinking about it. I don't know which one's correct, but let's say their prototype comes out tomorrow and it's no longer a prototype. It's a working, developed app. And every time you buy, you use Ether to put into their wallet, or Litecoins to put into their wallet, or Bitcoins to put into their wallet. You're using that to exchange into CTR. If that happens, you're buying Centra coin at the lowest seller at the current moment. If that's what's happening, the price will continue to rise every single time the app is used or money is deposited into it. I look at that as how this app will start to make money. Otherwise, right now, it's just going to exchange on the exchanges until it gets into a better exchange. Then it will exchange much more. Okay? So the industry is underdeveloped. It's part of an industry. It just has to be part of an industry. That's all I'm asking. Even if it's saturated, is it part of one? Okay? Not all of them have that, just so we're clear. A new type of thinking. This does have a new type of thinking. Okay? This is saying that you can use any coin as long as it's inside the wallet, and you can use it, swipe your card, and it will remove the money instantly. I love that. Life-changing. Of course, this is life-changing. This is going to actually decide how I spend my money. I no longer have to wait 4 to 5 days to remove Bitcoins. I just need to spend them that same day. There are other people out there like BitPay that allow you to do the same thing, but I believe BitPay is just Bitcoin. This is actually going to let me do everything. Dash, Zcash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ether, and Bitcoin Cash possibly in the future. So there's so many things that are looking up for this particular site, this particular company. So that's why I like it, right? So that's why I'm looking to invest, right? How many coins? Okay, so this is where the check mark is not really a check mark. This is more of a, how comfortable do I feel with this? Okay, I want you guys to see something. If they have somewhere between 1 million and 100 million, okay, the chances of them selling 100 million coins are pretty high if the price is under 5 cents. Okay, I mean, when I say pretty high, I mean very high, because that's only like $5 million. That's like nothing. Okay, the chances of that happening are so high because people are raising $1.5 million in a day for some of these coins. So or selling even 1 million coins a day. and they're at like $2 a coin, or $1 a coin, 10 cents a coin, or 6 cents a coin. And I'm talking about under 5 cents. Okay, so if it's 1 million to 100 million at $1, that's good to great. So depending on the type of company, like Centra's a great company, a good company. So I would consider them great. Okay, so I would consider that a better idea, even if it's under $1. Now, if it's over $1, that's still okay, right? So that's not like anything bad. So don't look at okay as like, oh man, that's pretty bad. No, okay is still good in this case because depending on the company could be a great company, and it just makes total sense on why they're $1, and they just don't want to have a bunch of coins out there. So that just makes sense. So, but then you got some that are just like, it just doesn't make any sense why you're $1 and some change. You just want $100 million for no reason. Then you got 200 million to 900 million. Now I don't really see many coins being in the 50s. Like you won't see like 150. That's not really common. So I don't have anything for that. But if it's 150, I would say put it into the 100 to 200. 1 to 100 category, or just use your own judgment at that point, which one you feel comfortable with. But if it's under 5 cents, I'm saying it's still good. To me, that's kind of great still. So under 5 cents, anything under 5 cents is probably going to be good, no matter how many coins are out there. Under $1, that's not terrible. If it's up to 900, like if it's like 500,000, and they're asking for like close to $1, like 10 cents or 25 cents or 50 cents, it could still be potentially really good. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Like if it's like the max 90 cents and it's 900 million out there, you can probably bet your $1 that it ain't gonna hit. You know what I mean? It's gonna take a long time. But like the closer it is to having less, and the closer it is to being 5 cents, the better. Okay, that's kind of how I looked at that one. That's just better. The lower the numbers are, the better. And then 200 to 900 at $1 or more, to me, it's just not worth it at that point. Anything $1 or more, it's just like, come on, don't even put your money in. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. You can do whatever you want with your money, but that's why I'm not investing in anything that's that much more. Okay. That's kind of funny to say that, because if you look at the history, I did invest in Plex, and I believe Plex is at like 250 million, or 500 million. I think it is 500 million, and they're at 500 million, and their goal was like $1.88. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Your goal is $1.88. Like, who's gonna invest all that money into those coins? Like, it's just, to me personally, I was just like, crap. I didn't create this until after Plex. So I'm kind of like, hopefully I can get out and get my money back, minimum. Okay. Now, if they have 1 billion or more, this is where things just kind of get shaky. 1 billion coins is just too many coins. Personally, I just feel like that's just too many. Anything that has like 1 billion coins, I may not invest in. Now, if I invest in it, it's because it just makes sense, and there's no coins available anywhere in the world. For 5 cents, I'm gonna get in. Okay, I've seen some ICOs. I don't remember one of them. I think one is like Doge. I think they have like 1 billion or something like that. I'm not really 100% sure. There's a bunch of them out there that do have 1 billion coins, right? So let's see if I can actually pull one up. This is gonna be sideways, so I do apologize. But what we'll do is we'll click on here. Come on. So we'll do available supply. So this right here shows you how many. This one has 15. See this one right here? 15 billion, I think it said. So we got 1,000, million, billion, trillion. So 15 trillion. This one right here, dime. Look at how much they're worth, right? That one's at 500 billion, 550 billion, 400 something billion. I can click on any one of these. I'll close my eyes and just click on one. Like I said, Doge. Look at where it's at. A tenth of a penny right now. You know what I mean? It's gonna be 2/10 of a penny in a second. Like this one, 2/10 of a penny. New York coin. Oh, I don't even know what number that is. None of these over 1 billion. None of these over 1 billion. As even a freaking penny. To me, that's just not worth it. Yeah, I'll invest in them if they're gonna at least hit a penny. There's so much potential there. But who's looking at all these coins that are over 1 billion? Like, this isn't even worth my time to even look at it. And this one right here actually was worth my time for a while. But if we look at the last 3 months, Not really. I was trying to invest when it was like 10 cents. So that was back when July. I tried to invest. I got a wallet and everything. I just couldn't figure out how to buy any. So I just never did. But yeah, Linda, fun. Like it's just not worth it. You don't see anybody killing it. That's over a billion. So and then this one was one I looked at as well. I don't think they did anything. Again, there's no like heavy volume. Look at this, losing money. Look like so. If you just look at it in those terms, this is a newer coin now to Jax actually. I want to see what it's been doing for last week. Oh, it doesn't have any graph. So if you look at what I'm showing you guys, you'll notice kind of like a pattern here that shows the ones like down here where I say are terrible, over a billion. I just wouldn't do it. If it's over a billion, I don't care how great the company is, unless it's underneath 5 cents and it just makes sense. I wouldn't do it personally. So right now we're good on that one. Okay, that's a check mark for me because that means that I do agree with how many they have. Okay. Self-sustaining industry. Okay, so this is a kind of a tricky one. Okay, the reason why it's tricky is because the way Bitcoin works, it could be in any industry. Okay, Power Ledger is an energy company. Does it make sense for an energy company to actually have a coin? No, not to me. It doesn't. Does it make sense for me to have my own personal coin that only I can have? No. So like, why would that make sense? Like that's like a diamond having coin. That's like a currency having a coin. It doesn't make any sense to have its own coin because then who's gonna buy it? Like for what? What do I need to buy it for? It's not gonna give me energy at my house. So self-sustaining industry. This is a credit card, debit, banking app. Okay, everyone's gonna have some sort of wallet, and the wallets that allow you to buy multiple coins, ones that let you deposit and withdraw money, are the ones that make the most sense. Okay, that's why Coinbase is more popular than blockchain. Okay, that's why Coinbase is more popular than half of the ones out there, like Jax. You don't see many people using Jax. Coinbase is way more popular than that one. And if I was to add, if Jax right now added Ripple, Ripple would at least triple. You know what I mean? But if blockchain, like or Jax added Ripple, which I believe they did not, if they added Ripple, it would probably be the same because it's not as popular. Okay, so this is something that's popular. This is going to be great for the industry. This is going to be great for anyone that does not know how to use blockchain to make or withdraw or anything with your money. So if you're scared, you don't want to put your money in, I feel like this will make you feel more comfortable. So self-sustaining industry. Prototype, yes, we don't talk about that anymore. The guy used it. Just watch it. Okay. Partner in the industry. Now this is something that's a little bit different. So this is a bonus, right? I look at the bonus as something that not all of them are going to have, right? So and most of them are not going to have all of them. Okay? So we'll look at it like this. A partner in the industry will be someone like T.I. or 50 Cent or Dr. Dre or Mayweather or anyone that's Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, anyone that is on television that right now, like an Oprah status, someone that says buy this, at least 1 million people will buy it. So that's a partner in the industry. Not everyone's gonna have 1 million. Like Ti may only have like 10 million people, 10,000 people that are gonna say he's gonna say buy, and probably only 100,000 people are gonna even hear him even say it. But that person right there is someone that you can Google, look up, and say, you know what, I actually trust him. Like Jay-Z. If Tidal didn't have Jay-Z, they will be the same. They will be as big as I don't know the other eight tracks. No one uses 8 tracks. So Tidal is not gonna is not gonna go anywhere because of Jay-Z. Jay-Z's gonna make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Ti is gonna make sure the same thing with Flick. Mayweather's gonna make sure the same thing for stocks. This one does not have that. And write-ups. This is something that you have to Google. I'm not going to check it off because I don't believe they have many write-ups. But this is one that you have to Google. Google the company. Google the ICO. Look them up on blogs. They should have some sort of write-ups about them. If they don't have write-ups, it's not a bad thing. If they're not on blog sites, if they're not on interviews, if they're not on podcasts, That doesn't mean anything wrong. That just means that they're very secretive and they just don't want to be bothered. Or just no one in those industries or on those websites actually care about them and are going to invest. So this one, I won't hold too much weight on it, but I do think it's a huge bonus. So if I was to look at a company that has a bunch of write-ups that aren't posted by themselves, and they're actually because that someone is actually writing them up, then I think that that's kind of a great thing. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. This one in particular got all of them except for the last 12. So what we'll do is we'll take, I'm sorry, they did the last 24. So minus 24, right? So that's how I look at it, right? So minus 24 equals this number, and then we divide that by 112 equals 78%. So this one got 78% in my book, 79% in my book. That usually means that I'm going to invest. I usually try to invest about $250. So if we take that number and we multiply it times $250, I'll probably end up investing about 200 bucks. Okay, so that's kind of how I look at it. That's how I'm investing. I didn't actually do that in the beginning, but that's how I'm looking at it now. I do want to have at least 200 to 500. If I take that same 79, 0.79 and I do, let's say 500. That's what I want to do. At the time, I do 400. So if I want to do 1,000, it's gonna say do 800. So that's kind of how I look at it. Like, okay, you know what? What would I invest if this thing had all the bells and whistles? And then I say, okay, the percentage will tell me what to actually invest. So if I want to do 500, which is what I want to do, 500, I'll most likely end up doing 400. Okay, but if it drops down, if this thing drops down to 75%, 75 cents under what I'm looking to pay for, because that's what I'm looking to do, I am looking to actually pay these numbers here. I'm looking to pay 75 to $1. It drops down to 75. I put 150 in there because I was actually going to invest like a couple days ago, but again, they are still on GitHub, Ether Delta, and I just hate Ether Delta. So I'm not gonna do it until they hit another exchange. But yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna do 150 to get 200 shares. Real, I'm looking to invest the 150. I'm looking to invest almost 150 into all of them, except for Centra, and Waves, and Transmission. Those are the three that if tomorrow I end up with those amounts as 250, end up with $5, and I end up with $250, most likely they're gonna go right into those companies. So that's it. So I just wanted to break down how I do my breakdown. If you guys have any questions or anything to add, right? So I'm looking to add more things to look at. This is just me looking at them. Um, I'm not like a big technical person, so I'm not gonna be able to look at the technology behind it. I'm not gonna ask a lot of questions, but I do look at them and say, you know what would a average consumer want to look at and want to know? And that's just kind of how I looked at it. So I don't see it as a bad thing on how I described everything for myself. Again, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I do look at it as in this is what I'm gonna do, but I want to know why am I gonna do it, and I needed a checklist to go off of because if you don't have a checklist while you're doing these websites, these ICOs, what you'll notice is that you're just randomly putting money in. When I bought money, not doing IPOs, but when I bought stocks and I put my money in, I had to have a reason for everything. One of the reasons was was there any news before I invest? Once I noticed that is some news, I would then say to myself, okay, what was the news, and would that make me buy in? And and then I would see like would that make me hold? Is that news long enough for 6 months? Is that newsworthy long enough for 6 hours? Or do I really even care about that? So that's how I kind of looked at the stocks, and that's kind of how I look at this is to have a reason to purchase, have a reason to invest, and that's just what I did. So any questions? Don't forget to comment, like, share. I don't think many people are going to make it this far without skipping, but if you did, put it down at the bottom. Definitely comment that. Listen, I made it this far without skipping. I made it all the way to the very end. But most people that made it this far probably skipped a good 20 minutes in there, and did a bunch of fast forwarding. So I know this is going to be long, but every single time that I do this, it's going to probably get longer because there's going to be more information to get and there's going to be more information to give. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, and join our village chat Even if you're new, or even if you're just curious, or if you just have one question, I don't care. Put it in the chat. We're all there to help you guys out. There's a lot of people that are interested in the same information that I'm putting out there, and I don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed in the chat. So to be honest with you, there's not a lot of people that actually are in the chat actively every day. It's about maybe 7, but it's about 15 total for the day. But I would say 7 at a time. But everyone's in there just to ask questions and help. No one's in there to spam. No one cares about spamming. If you do spam, I will boot you and I will block you. So, all right, guys. Any questions? Definitely ask me.